Okay, so you know that feeling, right? That horrible sinking feeling when you reach for your keys and nothing.
Oh, absolutely. That sudden panic.
Exactly. Or maybe it's just a lock that's decided today's the day it won't cooperate.
Mm-hmm. The jiggle technique failing miserably.
Totally. Or, you've just moved into a great new spot, maybe somewhere near Leek Street Arches or a flat with a view, and you start thinking, hang on, who else might have a key to this place?
Yeah, that thought definitely crosses your mind.
We just don't tend to think about locks much, do we? Not until they cause a problem or we suddenly need that security.
It's true. They're just sort of
Yeah.
there until they're not working.
So today we're doing a deep dive into that world, locksmith services, and we're focusing specifically on the Waterloo area in London.
Right, SE1.
We've looked at what some of the top local locksmiths are saying, what they offer, the advice they give, basically trying to give you a shortcut to knowing what's what.
And the mission here, for you listening, it's not just about finding a phone number when you're locked out.
No.
It's about really understanding the landscape. What services are actually out there? What should you look for in a good locksmith? We want to arm you with the knowledge to make smart choices, whether it's, an emergency near the station or maybe you're planning a security upgrade for your place.
Okay.
We've pulled out the key bits of info from our sources to help you navigate it all.
Okay, let's unpack this then, because like you said, most people just think locksmith equals lockout.
Yeah, that's the immediate thought.
But the sources we looked at show it's way broader than that, especially these specialists covering Waterloo, the SE1 postcode.
Yeah.
What are we really talking about here?
Well, that's what's so interesting. The sheer range of things these folks handle for homes and businesses, too. Across SE1, it's way beyond just popping open a door.
Right.
Think about installation and replacement. That's a big one.
Okay.
So putting in brand new door locks,
Huh?
maybe for a cool conversion off the cut, or, fixing up a space near Leek Street Arches, or just replacing the cylinder part of your front door lock. That happens a lot on places like Bayless Road, maybe near the South Bank Center, or those newer builds around Albert Embankment.
Right, that cylinder replacement.
Exactly. And definitely changing locks when you move into a new house, say somewhere near Hatfields, that's like Security 101. They handle that smoothly. Gives you instant peace of mind.
Makes sense.
But then there's all the repair and troubleshooting. It's not just about new stuff.
Ah, okay. What kind of repairs?
Well, our sources mentioned UPVC door repair specifically. You know those plastic frame doors and windows?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
They have specific, sometimes tricky, locking mechanisms. So specialists are needed for repairs on streets like The Cut, maybe around Kennington Road or Blackfriars Road. They can also fix a specific door handle lock, maybe on Stamford Street, or sort out internal door lock mechanisms. Think older houses off Lower Marsh, perhaps on York Road.
Oh, right, the internal ones can be fiddly.
Very. And even window locking issues, like near Jubilee Gardens. And sometimes locks just stop working. No obvious reason.
Yeah, that's baffling.
So they do systematic troubleshooting, maybe around Lower Marsh Market area or in flats near Lambeth North to figure out why and fix it properly.
Okay, comprehensive.
And then, of course, you've got the emergencies and the security upgrades.
The classic late-night lockout.
Definitely that.
Yeah.
Like near Waterloo Station after a long commute. They offer quick fixes for those nightmare scenarios.
Crucial.
But it's also about advising on security upgrades. Waterloo's got such a mix of buildings, modern flats, old conversions, busy commercial places. They tailor advice for each type. This includes things like planned cylinder upgrades along Westminster Bridge Road. Swapping out the old cylinder for a newer high-security one keeps you up to date, often needed for insurance too.
Wow, okay. That is a huge range of skills. So if I'm living or working around Waterloo, what does knowing all this actually do for me? What's the real benefit?
It really boils down to peace of mind, honestly. Think about it. Your key snaps off in the lock near Millennium Green just when you're late. Stressful, right?
Totally.
Or maybe you're a landlord near St. George's Circus needing regular lock checks. Or you're facing a proper emergency unlock right by Lambeth Bridge. Knowing there are local specialists who can handle all of that.
Yeah.
Who know the area, the types of locks commonly used. It just means you're covered. You don't waste time searching or worrying if they can handle your specific issue.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference. That local knowledge counts.
Absolutely. It means you've got a reliable safety net.
Okay, that's reassuring. So let's get down to brass tacks. Our sources pointed to 3 specific locksmiths operating prominently in the Waterloo area. Who are they, and what makes them stand out?
Right. So based on the sources, these 3 definitely came up as key players, each with slightly different strengths or focuses. Make some good choices depending on what you need.
Got it.
First one we should mention is Locksmith for London.
Okay, locksmith for London. Now, the sources actually called them the cheapest locksmith in Waterloo. That word cheapest can sometimes make you wonder about quality.
Yeah, it can. It's a fair point.
So how do they manage that? Is there a catch? Or do they genuinely offer good value?
That's exactly what we looked into. The sources suggest they balance the cost by being efficient. They're described as trusted and long established.
Okay, so experience helps.
Right. It seems they run lean local teams and are very clear about pricing up front. Low call-out fees, professional service across SE1. Doesn't seem like they cut corners on the work itself. They're flagged as ideal for common jobs, like that front door lock barrel change near the South Bank Center, or fixing a handle lock on Stamford Street, or, getting you back in quickly after battling the crowds at Waterloo Station. They also seem pretty good at giving clear advice beforehand, like what to do if locked out, or what a lock replacement really costs.
Transparency is good.
Crucially, that emergency response time aiming for about 20 minutes. That's a big selling point.
20 minutes is fast.
Very. Likely due to having engineers spread out. And while Waterloo's a focus, they cover a huge chunk of London, Battersea, Chelsea, Croydon, Fulham, Islington, Lambeth, Marylebone. Lots of areas. Shows they've got the logistics sorted.
So value driven by efficiency, not cutting quality.
That seems to be the picture, yes.
Okay, good to know. Now, what about people right in the thick of it? Living or working literally next to Waterloo Station, who's good for that immediate area?
For that specific hub, Emergency Locks Ltd comes up frequently. Their base is actually on Old Kent Road, but the sources highlight their rapid service specifically for the Waterloo Station zone.
Ah, interesting. So they target that area well.
Exactly. They seem really well positioned for commuters, businesses, and venues right around the station. Think door lock installations for those conversions off the cut, or handling emergency lockouts near the Young Vic or Old Vic theaters.
Right, high traffic areas.
Precisely. They also deal with things like keys stuck near Millennium Green, or helping people locked inside on Bayless Road, and that systematic troubleshooting for non-working locks in flats near Lambeth North. Their ability to get through Waterloo's busy streets quickly seems key.
Makes sense for emergencies there.
And they're versatile, too. They handle those UPVC door repairs we mentioned, fixed door handles around Blackfriars Road, and give security advice for buildings with lots of people coming and going.
Commercial stuff, too.
Yeah, and routine work for landlords around St. George's Circus, changing locks for new tenants near Hatfields. A pretty broad service offering, just very focused geographically on that Waterloo core.
Okay, Emergency Locks Ltd for the station hub. Got it. What about slightly further out? Along the river, perhaps, or heading over towards Vauxhall? Is there someone bridging that gap?
Yes. For that stretch, Locksmith Vauxhall is highlighted. They're based on South Lambeth Road, which puts them in a great spot to cover both SE1 and SW8.
Ah, bridging the postcodes.
Exactly. Covering the riverside in that Vauxhall fringe area effectively. Sources say their engineers are often called out for front door lock repairs near Archbishop's Park, or quick unlocks needed near Lambeth Bridge.
Okay.
They also handle UPVC repairs, particularly mentioned for the mansion blocks you find around Kennington Road. And they seem skilled with the locks in period properties off Lower Marsh, as well as the newer stuff like replacing barrels in modern blocks near Albert Embankment.
Covering different building types then?
Yes, catering to that mix. What really seems to define them, according to the sources, is a focus on swift response, clear pricing, and quality work.
Transparency again.
Yeah, they emphasize giving you a clear quote up front, making sure you know the costs, whether it's an emergency call-out outside the NFT on the South Bank or you're planning a cylinder upgrade along Westminster Bridge Road. They cover the basics like installations right through to tricky UPVC adjustments. Seems their focus is reliability and customer satisfaction through clarity.
Okay, so 3 strong options there. Locksmith for London for value and speed, Emergency Locks Ltd for the Waterloo Station focus, and Locksmith Vauxhall covering the Riverside and Vauxhall Fringe.
That sums it up pretty well based on our sources, yeah.
But here's where I think it gets really interesting. Beyond just knowing who to call, the sources we looked at were packed with advice. Information that could help us all be more prepared, more informed, before we even need a locksmith.
Absolutely. And that raises a really important question, doesn't it? How can you, the listener, actually take control of your security, maybe even avoid some common problems.
Right.
The sources offer some fantastic guidance, stuff that could genuinely prevent issues or just help you handle them better if
Yeah.
they do happen.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Okay, so first off, choosing wisely and avoiding scams. This is critical.
Definitely.
The sources highlight things like 5 things to check when choosing a locksmith.
Wow.
Basic but vital stuff. Do they have a real local address? Check online reviews. Ask for ID when they arrive. Always get a fixed, itemized quote before work starts.
Not just a vague estimate.
Exactly. And conversely, they warn about 7 Qs. You're dealing with a rogue locksmith. Red flags like super low initial quotes that balloon, demanding cash only, or pressuring you into expensive replacements you might not need. Knowing these signs is crucial.
Forewarned is forearmed.
Totally. Then there's the whole DIY versus professional question.
When can you fix it yourself?
The sources have guides like 7 door lock problems and how to fix them. Maybe a loose handle screw or a stiff lock needing graphite powder, simple stuff.
Okay.
But they also strongly advise on 5 situations when you should call a locksmith versus DIY. Key message. If a key is snapped in the lock, if the internal mechanism feels totally jammed, or if you need a proper security upgrade to meet standards like BS 3621.
Call the pro.
Absolutely. Trying to force it or bodge a security lock yourself often makes things worse and potentially much more expensive. Know your limits.
Good advice.
And for those moments of panic or just things to try first, there are guides like 5 things to try when your key is stuck.
Don't just yank it harder.
Right. Try lubricant WD-40, graphite, and gentle wiggling. Or 5 things to try when locked out. Before calling, calmly check all other doors and accessible windows. You'd be surprised. Maybe try the credit card trick on a simple latch, carefully.
Simple steps first.
Yeah. And 5 things to try when your door handle won't lift up. Check screws, lubricate, maybe a gentle tap around the mechanism. Sometimes things just get stuck. These quick checks can potentially save you a call-out fee.
Useful first aid tips for locks.
Exactly. And finally, understanding security upgrades and costs. This is huge.
Making your home safer.
Yes. Sources detail things like 7 types of secure locks you should upgrade to. Big recommendation is getting British standard BS 3621 locks for external doors tested against drilling, picking, forcing, maybe multi-point locking for UPVC doors.
Okay.
And crucially, understanding locksmith prices and costs, plus 5 things you need to know to avoid overcharging. Get that itemized quote first. Ask exactly what it covers: parts, labor, VAT, call-out fee. Be wary if the price suddenly jumps on arrival without a very good reason.
Being informed about cost avoids shocks.
It puts you in control. You can make informed choices about your security and your budget.
So what this all really means is you don't have to just react when something goes wrong. You can actually be proactive.
Precisely. It's about having the knowledge before the crisis hits. Turning that potential panic into just a situation you know how to handle.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground there. We've navigated the world of locksmiths in Waterloo, from those sudden emergencies to planned security booths. We've seen there are solid options, whether you need that budget-friendly speed from Locksmith for London, the pinpoint focus near the station from Emergency Locks Ltd, or that broader coverage across the South Bank and Vauxhall from Locksmith Vauxhall.
Yeah, distinct choices for different needs.
Each seems to bring something valuable to the table.
And knowing the full scope of what they do beyond just lockouts, into repairs like UPVC doors, fixing internal mechanisms, and importantly, knowing how to choose a good one, or even when you might manage a small fix yourself, that really empowers you. It's not just about fixing a broken thing. It's about feeling confident in your property's security. That informed peace of mind.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something for you to think about. We've talked about all this detailed advice, spotting a good locksmith, the services available right there in Waterloo, avoiding being overcharged. How much power does that knowledge truly give you when it comes to securing your own home or business? What steps could you take, maybe even today, to move from just being prepared for a problem to being genuinely proactive about your security?